All right, team, 26.3. You're going to lie on the floor and stand up a lot of times. 16-minute cap on this workout, and we're going to assume we're working for the whole time. Question number one, which version of this workout should I do? Regardless of whether we pick foundations or scaled or we're going RX, you're doing all the burpees. The number stays the same. You are the heaviest object in the workout by some distance. So if you can move the barbell, I would be tempted to pick the category with the heaviest barbell you can still move, knowing that the bulk of the work in the workout is going to be the burpees. So maybe this is your chance to get an RX score on the board, knowing that you're lying on the floor, standing up and going over the bar a whole bunch of times. The only caveat to that is in the RX category, we do have to make it a jump over the bar, we can't step. So maybe that's a factor in your decision. Weights on the barbells then. Foundations, we're going, it's not on my board, I think it's 15, 20, 25, and then men is 20, 25, and 30. I'll get that double checked. Scaled women, we're looking at a 20 into a 25 and then a 30 kilo barbell. Scaled men, we're looking at 30, 38, and 43, hence all the little fractions we've got out because those weights do need to be on the bars. RX ladies, you're going 30, 35, and 38, and then RX men, we're going 43, 52.5 and 61 kilos. In terms of pacing and strategy, we saw from the live stream the girls went out super hot on those burpees, only in round 2 to drop the pace a lot. We want to start slowly here, knowing the bulk of the work is the burpee, is going to jack up our heart rate and make those power cleans and those thrusters harder than they need to be. On the barbell, we want to break the barbell on both movements into at least 2 sets from the start. Ben and I have been having a little chat. That's probably on the cards for him as well. If Ben is thinking about putting the barbell down, the rest of us definitely need to be putting the barbell down. It might even be 3 sets on the bar from the start because again, the burpees are so much work. A little break on the floor, pick the bar up, get the rest of the reps done, rinse and repeat. Moving at a pace that you can hang on to for 16 minutes. The first 10 want to feel okay. If we've got a gear to go to in the final 6, by all means turn it up. Every rep is going to count here, team. It's your last chance to get some points on that leaderboard. So not being afraid to dig in those last couple of minutes and get some extra reps done. In terms of standards and other bits and pieces, I've got the printout of all the things. We're going to go through some bits and pieces with Lara. On all things burpee, which is where we're going to start. If you are a scaled lady, you may not burpee over this bar. You will need to roll it out the way and have yourself a second barbell with full-size plates for burpeeing over the bar. So going scaled as a lady or foundations, you're going to need 2 bars for the workout. Lara's used the lines here. There's no one burpeeing next door, so there's plenty of room. Bars could live at the back of the lane, providing you haven't got people standing in your space. Plenty of room for Lara to do things. You start on one side of the barbell, your chest and your thighs have to touch the floor at the bottom of each rep. You do not need to face a particular orientation. Providing you lie down, you are all good here. Lara gets herself up. There's no need to jump or step here. Providing you lie down and get your feet back on the floor, you are golden. From there, RX, it has to be both feet off the floor when you cross over the bar. A gallopy thing is allowed, providing both your feet are off the floor when you leave, hey presto, to go over that bar. If we're going scaled or foundations, we can step over the bar. First foot over, second foot joins it. If you're going scaled or foundations, I suggest stepping over the bar from the start. There is no point galloping for a little bit of speed. Stepping is going to save you a boatload of energy and let you get further into the workout, get more reps done. Couple of things to be super aware of. If you touch the bar when going over it, that's a no rep. When we get a no rep, whether that's because we touch the bar, maybe we don't hit the floor, maybe we don't do the jump thing right, you go back to the side you missed on, you have to do the whole rep all over again. Judges, be super aware of this, right? A no rep on the burpee means go back to where you started, start again, and touching the barbell with any part of your body would count as a no rep. Be super, super aware here. On to the power clean. These are all things that we should be super familiar with. Barbell starts on the ground. If we've got the little plates on the bar, that bar just needs to be below your knees for the rep to be credited at the start. So anywhere down here is all good. We can do any sort of clean that we want, providing the bar ends up on our shoulders and we stand in a straight line with our feet in line from left to right. So if Lara were to weirdly do some kind of split clean, totally fine. She just has to bring her feet back together and the rep is all good again. Providing she stood up, elbows in front of the bar on the shoulder, the rep is golden. Bottom of the rep with the big plates, the bar has to touch the floor. With the little plates, it has to be below the knee. Super straightforward. We need to be careful when we're doing really fast reps that we get our elbows through and stand up. We're not just pinging that bar off our shoulders. These look good, but those elbows have not gone through the plane of the barbell, so none of these would count. And I'd tell Lara she has to do all 4 of those reps again. She'll be very, very sad. We need to chat thrusters here, team. Again, stuff we should be super familiar with. We know the bottom of a squat is where our hip crease is clearly below our knee. Clearly below being the key phrase, right? So when we're down here, this little bit of Lara's leg in here needs to be lower than the top of her knee just here. Super straightforward. From there, we go all the way up. The bar moves overhead in one movement. At the top of the rep, this barbell is above the center or behind the center of our body with our arms locked out. Super tempting to lean back a little bit, leave the bar in front. That's no longer a rep. Congratulations. She has to do it all over again. When we get into, you can relax, that's all good there. When we get into the workout, only you can change your weights. Only you can change your weight. So if you throw your barbell around, kick your plates and throw everything all over the floor, it's a you problem. Your judge can only judge. The crowd can only crowd. All of this is your responsibility. When you finish your workout, it should look like this again. Your judge might want to help you. They might not. That's their prerogative. And then last things here in terms of making things good and happy, you may not drop the bar unless it has 10s or 15s on that bar. All right, if it's just 5s, if it's just these little guys, do not drop the bar. Don't. I will come and tell you off. I'll slow you down. It'll be very annoying. You won't like me. It'll be very unfortunate. Final little rule, team. We bought the fancy clips from Rogue. They need to be on the bar for the reps to count. Any bar without a clip on it doesn't count. They're all no reps. So cheeky things there. Pacing, team. Be super smart. Bulk of the work is in the burpees. Respect your heart rate. Just keep it nice and low. Break the barbell from the start. I think the open's a really cool time to try and do something harder than you do in a class. It's a test rather than a workout. So if you want to go RX here and pick the harder option, maybe today's the time to do it. I feel like I'm being heckled in the background, so I'm going to leave you guys with this piece of information. Have a wonderful open. See you all tomorrow. Toodles.